everyone, welcome back to an amazing session with Heart and Heaven. We've actually had like a wonderful weeks back. We had like gratitude, how to tell God thank you. We learned how to express our feelings through gratitude, and then we also spoke about how to hear God's voice. I really hope you had time to listen to this episode, and I want to actually hear what you think about them in the comment section. So today we'll actually be talking about how to grow spiritually even when life feels overwhelming. How to grow spiritually even when life feels overwhelming. Have you ever thought of something depressing before? Have you felt like, I can't do this, life is choking, I'm being disappointed? Have you thought about your spiritual life being choked one side, where you feel like you're not growing, or you feel like you've given up on anything called Christ, anything called spirituality, anything spiritual, where you feel like, oh, I've gone too far in the world, I can't go back to being who I am. You used to be a praying person, you used to be a study person, you used to be a church person, but all of a sudden you stopped attending all these meetings, you stopped going to church, you stopped studying the word, and you feel like the world is so busy and life is so overwhelming to the point that you can't go back to those things. Okay, I have little tips, and I would like to first of all share my experience on how I dealt with the parts that overwhelmed me during my spiritual growth and all. When I was introducing myself, I told you that I was a pastor's child, and how I grew or how I became this person I am today, it took a lot of time, it took a lot of purpose, it took a lot of determination for me to get here. It wasn't easy at first because we all want to live our life, we all want to make decisions ourselves, but the world is so noisy that you get distracted. You don't even know what you're doing, you don't even know what you want anymore. But your spiritual life is something you shouldn't joke with. Your spiritual life is something you shouldn't take for granted. I actually was taking mine for granted. Why? Because I stopped going to church. I stopped seeing God as someone that would really want to help me. I stopped praying. So my spiritual life, my fire went back to zero. Where you give the devil a chance to bring in depression, we get to start lying. Then a lot of things just happened within that period, and I found myself struggling with things I didn't want. That was not me. So I had to go back to start developing myself. So now, the spiritual life is very important, that it can be quenched easily. Without you, if you don't keep the fire, it will burn out, it will go off, you can get tired of it. But you have to nurture your spiritual growth, you have to nurture this life. Even though life is overwhelming, it can seem tiring, it can seem chaotic, but you need to nurture it. And then I always tell people to start small. You mustn't rush into it. It's not a day thing. It's not a one-day thing. You need to start small. You need to start little by little. Now, when I mean start small, you can start with your morning devotion. You mustn't basically just wake up from your bed and then just pick our phones and be on it. The next thing, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we want to update people. TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, they're always there. It's filled up with a lot of information, but are they helpful to your spiritual growth? First of all, start small with your morning devotion. Make sure you pray in the morning. Dedicate 5 minutes before you leave your bed, before you step out of your room, to tell God, thank you for life. Pray about your day. Commit your day into God's hands. Tell God that He should direct you on things you ought to do during the day. He should direct you on things you have to do during the day. He should help you. He should just protect you. Just speak to God. Create that small time and be consistent in it. Don't just start today, tomorrow you skip. Don't just start tomorrow and then after a month you're off. Start small. You can start going to church. Is you starting small? You can read a Bible verse even if it's just one a day. You mustn't start immediately with 10 chapters in one day or 9 chapters in one day. You could just start with like a verse. Let it sink. Meditate on it. As you're stepping out, that should be what is filled in your mind. Start small. Start with the little thing you can see. You can always plug in messages. If that's you starting small, you mustn't want to listen to like 10 messages on different platforms, different church pastors preaching. You can just listen to one and stick to that one pastor that you feel is going to bless your life or it's going to work with you, and just be there. Just keep maintaining the fire. Starting small, like I mentioned, one, your morning devotion is very important. Don't forget to leave your room without praying. And secondly, incorporate God in your routine. Always remember that Christ has to be part of your daily life routine. What you eat, you have to pray about the food. I think when we're kids, that's one thing our parents taught us to do: pray before you eat. Because this word is wicked. You have to I feel like cover this food. We might think it's not something that should be done every day, but those little prayers actually go a lot more far. It goes far for us. So incorporate God in your daily routine, meaning create time to have a conversation with Christ through prayer. Even if it's just a 5-minute talk with Christ. You can be your boss and you're speaking to God. You can be your boss and you're telling God, okay, protect me as I'm on my way to school. You can be in class and then maybe the lecturer is not there or something. You can just bend your head and just speak to God. Incorporate God in your daily routine. Christ should also have time. In the 24 hours he has given us, create a time that you speak to him. You tell him how your day went. What did you do wrong? How can you adjust? Those are things that help you grow spiritually. You incorporating God in your daily routine, and stay connected in godly activities. Now, godly activities, like I mentioned, one is church. Church is the most important godly activity you will find. Church, go to church. Always attend Sunday service. Even if you won't go to weekly activities, always attend Sunday service. And before you know, you find it more interesting, and then you want to engage in other activities like joining a department in church. You want to be part of other people's prayer team, departments, and all. So incorporate God in your daily activities, and also stay connected with God daily. I'll always advise you to stay connected with God daily and find rest in God. You finding rest in God now is you developing trust. You have to believe God. You have to trust God. You have to tell God that, okay, my whole life is yours. I'm here. I believe you. You have peace of mind. Just have peace. The same way you are comfortable in your room. Just be comfortable in that presence of God. Be able to tell God things. Be able to find joy when you're expressing yourself to your Father. Find rest in God. And I really hope that the world won't get too overwhelming for you when you decide to get your life straight with Christ. Because why? There's rest, there's joy in the presence of God. There is you being determined to stick to the promises you made to Christ, and then He always finds you there whenever you decide to now start this journey. And don't forget to always keep your fire burning by prayers. Listen to encouraging messages from people, podcasts, and listen to pastors that would help your life. Not all pastors. Some pastors on earth, we have all different callings, but there are some pastors that might be preaching what you are not called for. You are preaching what you're not yet ready to hear. So stick to people that will help you grow. Don't just, there are some, and your kind of friends you surround yourself with, always stick with them. People that want to see you grow spiritually, that will call you for prayer meetings, that will come to yours and pray with you, that will always have a Bible study with you. Those are the kind of people you should always surround yourself with. And I really hope this episode has blessed you so far. I really hope that you find Christ in yourself in an environment that is overwhelming, in a stressful and depressing environment. And I pray that your spiritual life won't just quench. Your spiritual life will keep burning. Your spiritual life will keep growing. And like I said, don't forget to always go back to my other episode and listen to it. It also helps in growing your spiritual life. It also helping you to find yourself in this busy world. So thank you for listening to me today, and I hope to see you in my next episode. Don't forget to always go back and check out other episodes that we've talked about, every other topics, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.